You are looking at a ton of really cool people. These guys are putting together the WausaUltra. First of all, who came up with the idea to do Wausa and then the U at the end is where the word ultra starts for WausaUltra? Anybody?
Yeah, that's all Jake. He won't
Is
say
it?
it, but it's Jake. It's all Jake. Yep.
You the man.
Oh, well, thank you.
I love it. And we need to explain to everybody what it is because we have a lot of really good races now that dot the calendar. It's just that the pandemic got in the way and it was like 2021. We may be reinventing the wheel on what to go to. So excite the racers. Tell everybody what WausaUltra is, Jake or Chad or whoever, Jennifer, whoever wants to take it.
Well, the quick story on what it came from was it was something that I wanted to kind of pull the trigger on a couple of years ago, and basically what the company is going to end up providing is races. There's a lot of great companies in the area, but there are certain races that people are really craving. The long distance, just goofy long stuff and stuff that some people shake their heads at and some people are just chomping at the bit to get to. And they're just races that are special enough that they're not provided yet in the area, and somebody needs to do it. And myself, along with 5 other people, said we would love to do it, and that's how that came about. Basically, it was during the middle of a run where the ideas were forming, and yeah, it's a matter of just having great people that are all on here today to put the work in to get ready for the race dates.
Well, you've all done lengthy races before for sure, but are you seeing there's a shortage maybe of long form races in central Wisconsin?
Well, they're scattered. So in this our inaugural race, the backyard, which is the last runner standing, there's nothing close to Wausa necessarily. You have to go like 3 hours either north or south in order to get to one of these, and people are definitely willing to travel. I think all of us kind of enjoy the aspect of doing long races is getting to travel and see whether it be a different state or just a different city. So the people definitely are willing to travel, but there's a lot of good athletes everywhere, and everybody's continually get better. But there's a lot of good athletes around here, and we're hoping to draw them and people from outside. Yeah, we'll just see where it goes and see how it spreads, and yeah, it's going to be good. We got a good showing. We got people signing up from Indiana, Minnesota, Illinois, so it's the word's getting out there. We see hits coming in from California and the East Coast, so the group is doing a great job getting the word out there, and people are poking at it, definitely interested, and yeah, it'll be a great thing.
Well, let's hone in a little bit more about WausaUltra and what it is. Is it a strictly running race, or is there other things to do, or is it strictly a running race?
Well, we'll give this one over to Scott. He can take that and he can kind of explain where some of our visions are going, because it's constantly changing too. Just because we ultimately want to present stuff that's just missing, little missing links. So if Scott would like to take this one, go ahead.
Yeah, so the short answer is no, it's not just a running organization. Those are our first events that we're focused on with the backyard and the double down. But the idea here, as Jake said, right, is to provide a race experience that's different and those events that are different in the area. And so we're not stopping at running. We're looking at swimming events. We're looking at bicycle events. We're not stopping at just the running. And again, with the constant focus of trying to go back to tons of great races in this city. We all know that, right? A lot of them are 5Ks, a lot of them are 10Ks. There's nothing wrong with that, but we're not designed to do just that. So constantly thinking about new creative ways to bring the race experience into Wausa that just isn't here yet.
Gotcha. And so, what you're saying is, so WausaUltra, what you're trying to do is you're trying to create sort of a setup that could be ongoing for several dates throughout the calendar year.
100%. Yep. In fact, we're getting close to launching something that's going to happen in June, towards the end of June, right around the solstice time. So, yeah, we're not looking to just to start and stop on one event. It's interesting, right? Because this isn't the organization, the people that are here, right? We didn't start this to make money. Like, this isn't a startup where we're trying to make capital. We want to just provide experiences that the Wausa community doesn't have just yet. And so we're not really limited from that perspective, because again, we're not trying to do this to make money. We're trying to do it to raise the race experience, as well as to provide back to the community. One of the things that Jake was adamant about when we started this was not only to raise the race experience, but to give back to the park systems that we all love so much here. And so that's a part of our mission as well, is that that we're constantly putting money back into the community because of the events themselves. So we're not taking a salary. We're not doing any of that. All the money goes back into the organization, back into the community to continue to provide awesome experiences.
Well, it gives the community, an opportunity to shine. And so that's one of the wonderful benefits, unique selling points of having these races in the first place. And the last one that I covered as a photographer, I remember talking to racers, and one said, because I, just asked, hey, where are you from? Champaign, Illinois. And I'm going, and you're in Wisconsin. And so then I started to learn about that people do love to travel and go do these experiences. And so I would imagine, haven't you all learned, from going to those other experiences that are not necessarily in central Wisconsin?
Yeah, so Chad, why don't you talk a little bit, right, about the experiences that you've had, and you go to these other places, and kind of the feel that you've gotten from them, and how we're trying to replicate that here as well.
Sure. Okay, so that's one thing that I've always liked about the ultras. When I first got into the ultra world, it was a completely different experience from what we were used to, just running a 5K or running a 10K. You're with these people for a very long time, with the athletes, with the crews, and you get to form a bond, and it becomes like, really good friendships out of this. And I think that's what's great about the entire ultra world. No matter where you go, you're going to run into people. Once you've done one ultra, somebody's going to say, oh, you've done this race. Do you know so-and-so? Did you meet so-and-so? And it's a really neat community. So that's what we're trying to go for here.
Got it. Chair. And, Chad, let's talk about this a little bit, about people who might be coming to any WausaUltra thing that's going to be coming up here, because I've known some of you long enough that I've seen your journey. And I've seen where some of you, like, for instance, you, Chad, when you got to the point where you started doing, a triathlon in every county in the planet, and then you had your team. So you had people who would come and they would help you get through lengthy races. But I've seen where other people, they go, what, I can do that too. And so, it's sort of like a thing where they see how it's done and they go, oh, I think I want to do that. Do you see where these races and your setups coming up here in 2021 would be things that, if people have done the 5Ks, the 10Ks, this is their next level?
Absolutely. This is a perfect race or event for that, because, with what we're doing here, as a last man standing type of event, you are going to be coming back to the same area every hour. So you're going to have people that are crew for you. You're going to have all the supplies you need. And like I said, you're going to find out that these other athletes are there to help you. It's not always just competition. It's they want to see you succeed. And that's what's kind of neat about this race too, is that if people are a little nervous about, oh, should I sign up? Shouldn't I? I don't know if I can do this or not. You have nothing to lose by trying it. All you're going to get is encouragement. And, whether you do 2 loops, 3 loops, 5 loops, 10 loops, whatever, everybody's going to be there to cheer you on. And this is a great way to get involved with it and to try it out.
Yeah, see, now I've noticed that. Rob, maybe you could talk about this a little bit. Jennifer, maybe you could too, because I've noticed when you guys have been out there recently in doing running things, that, you've got these other people to lean on a little bit. Talk about how that's helpful in trying to get through some of these, races and challenges.
Yeah, definitely. Having a crew and having a support system around you is invaluable when you're off on an adventure like this. This last summer I did my first really long event. It was 24 hours, and I was fortunate enough to have Chad there and another friend, Andy. And without them doing the logistics and having all their food ready for me, ready to go, it's impossible to say how well you would do without that. Because when you're in deep in these events, you kind of start to, your mind isn't really there 100% of the time. So it's nice to have someone else to tell you when to eat and when to drink. And that's the support system that Chad was really talking back to there. Is you're going to have that from a crew, maybe not even an experienced crew, but there are so many experienced racers that's going to be at our backyard ultra that you're setting off on the same loop every hour with the best racers and the slowest racers. Everyone's going to be all together, and that camaraderie is going to build, and you're going to be able to keep going with these people because of that.
Cool. Jennifer, your take on all this? Because I mean, I know I've seen you go through that as well. I think it's interesting to me. It's great to see you go out and get into these runs, either on a personal level where you've done it yourself, which you've done that this year, or if you're in some kind of an organized race, is having people around you that are pushing you along.
Yeah, and I think one of the great things that we're doing too with any of our WausaUltra events that we're going to be doing, we're not just focusing just on that long race too. We're going to have some other options for people that might just be coming into the sport or don't necessarily have the goal of theirs to run all day and all night. Maybe their goal is, an 8-mile race or a 4-mile race. We're going to have that option too, where they can be there and be part of this community and experience working with those ultra runners too, and just see the community that they're not really all about themselves. They're going to help you in your race, your 8 miles or your 4 miles, just as much as they're helping people that are doing the long race.
There you go. Hey, Ellen, do you think this would be something that families may want to get involved in with any of the WausaUltra events coming up?
I definitely think so. Like Jen said, I'm going to have a couple options. So for kiddos, we're doing something called a Sylvan Summit. And so it'll just be a big trek up the hill over at Sylvan, and then some adventures on the way down. And it's something that they can just get excited. And it's really neat because during that time, there's going to be these amazing runners that have already been running all night, inspiring them and being inspired by these kids that are running up. So it really is just going to be kind of a big party for whoever's there and families that are there. And I think it's really neat too. I know we spoke about it, but coming around every 4.6, you get to be supported by everyone that's there. So whether it's grandparents, kids, friends, any family members, people are going to be there cheering you on, supporting you with whatever race you're doing. And I just can't get over how much fun that's going to be.
I wanted to tell you guys that I have extra cowbells at my house. I'm just saying.
You can always use more cowbells.
And they're coming by.
We'll take them all.
See? Yeah, they just come in so handy, And let's talk about actually lining some things up here. I wanted to ask a couple of quick questions here before we wrap up. One is, for people who would want to get ready for any of the WausaUltra stuff, is what do you recommend? People who are runners that need to get their act together and be ready for these events coming up here. What would you suggest?
Elevation is going to be important in this race. Get on the hills. We do have the map published where we will be running over at Sylvan Park. And I think it's 550 feet of elevation, right around there per loop, which is going to add up quickly. So get out to Rib Mountain, get out to Sylvan Hill and put in the vertical miles.
Okay, cool.
I would say, adding on to that, I would say, this is a unique event in that it's not necessarily about how fast you can do that 4.1 mile loop. It's about strategy and pacing yourself so that you have enough time in between your ending of the loop and the start of the next one. So again, it's not just thinking about how quickly can I do 4 miles. It's about thinking about what do I need to do to complete the 4 miles, to get a few minutes of rest, to get some nutrition in, hydration, whatever it is that I need to continue on.
Okay, good deal. Hey, and guys, let's talk a little bit about how they contact you guys, how they get registered, all that kind of stuff. Is where are you, first of all, the date for that they need to focus on here going into 2021. When are we going to be running? When's it all happening?
Well, another thing to add on to what runners can do to help prepare themselves.
Sure.
Rob said that, yep, the map is published. We have a couple of little adjustments on it, but the majority of it's all the same. But coming up would be next weekend, February 20th, and also March 20th. We do have training runs, and all that's information is on our Facebook page, Instagram, our website, and it'd be great for people to come out. And we split it into 3 different paces. So whether you're coming out and you just really want to go above what you would that race day and just get a good workout in, we'll have that group, we'll have a mid group, and then we'll have a hike group. So literally anybody can come out, whether you're running the backyard or the double down. We have a good pace group for you. So that would be really huge because you get the feel of what it's going to be like. And especially with the terrain, it'll be packed in with snow, but it's going to be a little bit more work than it will probably in summertime. And that will kind of help feel will be like a few laps in with some tired legs. And I mean, that's really going to be a great thing for people to come and join. And so definitely jump on our website at WausaUltra.com. And you can find a lot of that information out on there. And yeah, follow all of our social media and constant updates. Jen is doing a great job keeping all that fun. And yeah, and they can give us insight too, what we can be doing better and what they would like to see, because ultimately that's what we want to do. We want to fill in a lot of the gaps too, that because there's things that we love about races and there's things that just kind of ruin it. Well, we just want it to be on the money, we want to make sure everybody's excited going into it, through it, and afterwards just go like, gosh, I'll be back, or tell other people. And so that's really our big goals.
Yeah, because when is the first big race day?
April 30th, which is a Friday. And the reason we have to start it on a Friday is this last runner standing. Now, we've seen it go a couple days before. So ultimately this thing could go from Friday all the way through Sunday. So we had to prepare for that. And that's why we have to start it on a Friday. So it'll be 10 a.m. on Friday, pack a pickup and everything. You'll be able to sign up ahead of time. If you just go to our website, WausaUltra.com, there's links all over the thing to be able to sign up. It's quick and easy. You'll be able to show up to the race site at 6 a.m. that day to be able to set up your crew area, get everything. You'll have ample time to get yourself settled in and get ready for however long you're going to be out there. So April 30th is the backyard. And then May 1st, the next day, Saturday, is when the double down and the Sylvan Summit's going to take place. So it'll be a fun weekend there, utilizing just an awesome place. I mean, it couldn't be set up logistically better than that at Sylvan there. So
I can't wait to strap a GoPro to all you guys. This is going to be a hoot. It is. First of all, that's a beautiful area. And so I can't wait to see that get put to use in this way. And then also, I can't wait to see, the feedback that you end up getting, from all these people, because we know there's going to be people coming in from all over the planet. The Board of Tourism around here must love you, because that means community dollars and, people, they got to eat, they got to go places, got to stay places. And so they'll be doing that around here and then having a great time at the event. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Hey, any other thoughts before we wrap up today, guys? Because I know, this was a big deal for all of you to even think about and start talking about. So is there anything else we need to throw in at this, stage of the game before we get to race day?
Well, we could talk about one thing. I know there's so many races got canceled last year, right? Due to COVID. I think we should address on that again and just kind of let people know that things are really moving in a good direction. And I'll pass this over to either Jen or Ellen and let them take this one. But things are really, really, really looking good. I don't think we're going to run into any issues. And Jen and Ellen, especially last year, they put on a race as race directors during the pandemic, and they did a great job. They did it very safe, and we're going to apply a lot of those same strategies to our race to make sure that everybody is safe, but to also get people out there because they're craving it. I mean, people have all this pent up. They're excited to get out there. So either Jen or Ellen, if you want to take this and kind of touch base on your experience from last year and how you plan to go about it this year.
Go ahead, Ellen.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, go ahead, Jen, you first.
Nope, you go.
Jake's right. I mean, I think there's a lot of energy and just a lot of, we want to be together as in a safe way as we can. And where we're going to be on Sylvan Hill is perfect for that. There's this huge field, and we'll be giving some visual illustrations of that hopefully in the next couple of weeks here. But people are going to be able to spread out. We'll ask that people who aren't running are wearing masks. We'll have plenty of areas to wash hands, that kind of thing. And especially when people are inside, they'll be wearing masks as well. And those are all just precautions that, yeah, we want to get together, but we really want to do it in a safe way. And we found that doing our race that we had in October of 2020, that we were really able to still have a great time and for people to compete and bond and just enjoy time together, but to do it in a way that doesn't compromise anyone's health. And so I do think that we can hold an awesome race. Jake's been working really hard to make sure with the park system and everything that there's no big last minute, hey, that's not actually going to happen. And we can't promise 100%, but they've given us a lot of confidence that this event is going to go forward. It's going to be wonderful. And we'll really make sure it's safe and enjoyable for everyone.
Cool. That's awesome. You know, I can't wait to find the area, the part of the course up there around Sylvan Hill where we can do some slow motion video. You know, part of my favorite things for putting projects together is you got to have a little bit of that. In running races, I think it's illegal if you don't. You have to have slow motion video. You just do. Sorry. Yeah.
Exactly.
So figure out which one's going to look the best, you know, when it comes to slow motion video. Hey, and then also for the website, I just want to make sure everybody knows where they're going. They're going to WausaUltra.com. Is that where we're sending everybody?
Rob, is that probably the best way of initially getting to learn more about us? And then from there, you'll be able to navigate around our other ways through social media. But Rob, that's probably the best way of going about it?
Cool.
Yeah, definitely. WausaUltra.com, and yeah, we have all our social media links on there. We have all the signups on there, and all the information, very detailed about each of the races. We'll be posting a lot more on there over the next coming months as well.
And there's glamour shots of the entire team. So I mean,
with sparkles, we need sparkles. I have to tell you, I so geeked out. You know, I knew that Chad, when you were running out in Hawaii, I thought, yeah, you know, you're running, you're swimming, you're biking and all that. But you know who's really got the tough job? Scott.
Scott, absolutely. He did.
There he goes. I got him.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you do Facebook Live when you have no Wi-Fi? That was brilliant. That really blew my mind.
it was not easy. Yeah.
He did a great job. They all did. They all did a great job.
Your crew is fabulous, and that was it was great to see who all was around you, Chad, when you were doing that. Because man, they all killed it for you. That's how you got through, man.
You bet, absolutely, 100%.
Well, here we go with WausaUltra, and we will do more of this when we get closer to the race. And if there's any updates, guys, then please let us know, and then we will throw them at the links and make sure they know what's going to be happening for all this, because it's very exciting. This is so cool.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks so much for having us, Dave. This is awesome. Appreciate it a lot.
You guys so rock. Appreciate you. Let me